The night the sirens stopped screaming is the night everything changed, and if you stay with me until the end, you'll understand why one quiet choice by a single father shook an entire police force to its core. Before we begin, if stories of courage, second chances, and unexpected truth move you even a little, tap like, subscribe to the channel, and stay, because this story circles back to the moment it begins, and you won't want to miss how it ends. Ethan Cole learned to measure time in small, careful moments. Since his wife passed, mornings were packed lunches and mismatched socks, evenings were homework at the kitchen table, and nights were stories read twice because his daughter Lily liked hearing the ending again. He worked as a tow truck driver, the kind of job that put him on the road at odd hours, and he chose the late shift because it paid a little more and because Lily slept better when he was home before dawn. He wasn't a hero, didn't think of himself that way. He was a dad who kept going. That rainy Tuesday, the call came just after midnight. A crash near the river road, one vehicle disabled. Ethan drove through sheets of water, wipers fighting the dark. He saw the patrol car first, nose crumpled against a guardrail, lights flickering weakly like a heartbeat that didn't want to give up. Then he saw her. She was slumped against the open driver's door, uniform soaked, one hand pressed to her side. Her name tag read, M. Reyes. Blood mixed with rain and ran toward the gutter. Ethan didn't think. He grabbed his jacket, wrapped it around her shoulders, and spoke calmly the way he spoke to Lily when thunder scared her. She tried to wave him off, stubborn even then, but her eyes fluttered and she sagged. He called for help, pressed where she told him to, and stayed with her until the ambulance arrived. Later, people would say he saved her life. Ethan would shrug and say he did what anyone would do. But not everyone would have noticed the way her breath hitched when the pain spiked, or how she kept apologizing for bleeding on his jacket. Not everyone would have stayed after the paramedics took over, waiting in the rain until the tow was done, because leaving felt wrong. Officer Maya Reyes woke up in a hospital bed with a dull ache and a sharper sense that something important had happened. The doctors said she'd lost a lot of blood, that another 10 minutes might have changed the outcome. She asked about the man who found her. They said he left before dawn, had a kid to get home to. She smiled at that, a small, private smile. The force praised her recovery, pinned a commendation on her board, and told the story of the crash as a reminder to watch the roads in storms. But there were things Maya didn't tell them. Not about the flash of headlights that veered too close before impact, not about the second car that fled. And not about the way the name, Cole, tugged at something in her memory, a file she'd closed years ago and sworn she'd never open again. Ethan tried to put the night behind him. Lily asked why his jacket smelled like the hospital. He told her it helped someone who needed it. She nodded, solemn, and went back to coloring. Weeks passed. Bills came. Life settled. Then one afternoon, a police cruiser idled outside his house. Maya stood on his porch in plain clothes, a careful smile on her face, a basket in her hands. "Thank you, muffins," she said, like the words were inadequate but necessary. Lily peeked around Ethan's leg, curious. Maya knelt to her level, introduced herself, and Lily decided she liked her immediately. Kids had a way of seeing past uniforms. They talked at the kitchen table. Maya learned about Lily's favorite books and Ethan's late shifts. Ethan learned Maya lived alone, that she'd joined the force to make things safer because growing up had taught her how fragile safety could be. There was an ease to it that surprised them both. Before she left, Maya asked if she could stop by again. Ethan said yes, and meant it. Their friendship grew quietly. Coffee after school drop-off. Texts about nothing and everything. Maya came to Lily's recital and cried when Lily forgot a line and kept going anyway. Ethan helped Maya fix a leaky faucet, laughed when she admitted she'd called it a mysterious indoor rain. It felt like something good and undeserved, and Ethan was careful with it. But the truth has a way of pushing through cracks. One night, months later, Maya arrived at Ethan's door pale and shaken. She asked if Lily was asleep. She asked if they could talk. She told him about the case she couldn't let go, the hit and run that had nearly killed her, the plate she thought she'd seen, the internal report that stalled. She told him the second car matched a vehicle from a closed case years ago, one involving a young man who vanished after a robbery gone wrong, leaving a family shattered. Ethan listened, heart pounding, because he knew the name she was circling without saying. He knew because it was his brother's. The words fell heavy between them. His brother had been reckless, had made bad choices, had disappeared the night a store was robbed, leaving Ethan to pick up pieces he hadn't broken. Ethan had spent years trying to be the opposite, trying to be enough for Lily, trying to believe people could change. He told Maya everything he knew, which wasn't much. He hadn't seen his brother in years. He didn't know where he'd gone. Maya's face was a map of conflict. Duty and gratitude pulled in opposite directions. She stood, apologized for bringing it to his door, and left with a promise she couldn't define. The force reopened the case. Rumors ran. Some officers resented the attention. Others dug in. Maya faced questions that cut close, whispers that wondered aloud whether her judgment was compromised. She didn't defend herself with the story of the man who saved her, because it felt like it would cheapen both of them. She worked harder, stayed later, followed leads that led nowhere. Then Lily went missing. It was only an hour, but an hour can be an eternity when a child doesn't come home from the park. Ethan's hands shook as he called Maya, as he called anyone. Sirens filled the streets again, and this time Ethan felt every second. They found Lily with a woman who'd mistaken her for her niece, confusion born of new glasses and old habits. Lily was safe, scared but brave. In the aftermath, as relief turned to exhaustion, Ethan realized something. The night of the crash, the second car that fled had cut across his tow truck's path. He'd cursed it and kept going. He'd seen a bumper sticker, a crack in the tail light. Memory sharpened with purpose. He told Maya. The lead broke the case open. The car was found. The man inside was not Ethan's brother. It was someone else entirely, someone who'd used old plates to avoid attention. The truth rippled through the department. Apologies followed. Commendations were reconsidered. Maya's name was cleared not because of loyalty, but because of facts, and because a single dad had trusted the truth enough to share it. At the ceremony, the chief spoke about courage in unexpected forms. He thanked Ethan publicly, called him a rescuer twice over. Ethan stood with Lily on his hip, embarrassed and proud. Maya met his eyes, gratitude and something deeper shining there. Later, when the room emptied, Maya told Ethan she'd learned something important. That saving someone isn't a single act, but a series of choices to stay, to speak, to believe. Ethan told her he'd learned the same thing the night his wife died, the morning Lily learned to tie her shoes, the second he wrapped his jacket around a stranger in the rain. They didn't rush what came next. They built it carefully, like Ethan built Lego towers with Lily, one piece at a time. Maya moved her coffee mug into their cupboard. Lily decided she needed help with math and that Maya was perfect for the job. Laughter returned to the house in ways that felt new and familiar at once. The force changed, too, just a little. Officers talked more about the people behind the calls, about the civilians who stepped up without badges. Maya advocated for community programs, for listening before assuming. Ethan volunteered when he could, teaching safety classes with a shy smile. And now, as promised, we return to where we began. The night the sirens stopped screaming wasn't the end of a story, it was the beginning of a truth that stunned a whole force and healed a few quiet hearts. If this story moved you, if you believe ordinary people can do extraordinary good, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that staying, telling the truth, and choosing compassion can change everything.